And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
You get block me. You get block me.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money, because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start, both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go out there now and start playing like the team they want to be.
Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win home. Check 13. Check 13.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward, since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 31 yards there and a first down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
meh.
That's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Cousins gives way to Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a
Cook strip. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson, flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. On first down, it's Carson, and he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On second down now. It's Carson, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Cousins now to throw on first down. It's caught by Treadwell. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Hey, Echo. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Gun.
Now Cousins. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. Hey. Slam. Through. Hey, Haywood. Hey, Ringo, 48. Hot.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 42 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, can. Go. We're going.
Cousins on first down. It's complete to Diggs. A gain of 6 there on first. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Here we go, D.
On second down, Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On the carry, it's Cook, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
80 weapons. Mike's 50. Hey, orbit. Mike's 50. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Hey, Mike 50.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Flushed out right. And that is going to be incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And this is caught by C.J. Procise. 23 yards the pickup there.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
You got straight. You got tight right there. 12.
A design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll him behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
It's our time. Fair. Trump. Check. Watch 54. I'm trying to collect. Hey, watch that. Check.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson, he's got this one complete to John Ursua. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Check nine.
To throw on 3rd down. Wilson dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
On play action, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Cook. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
57, Mike, 57. Mike, hot. Watch the run. 57. Bravo. 57. You don't want none of that.
From the 44, Cousins. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is caught at the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 43 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Now looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Hey, check Mike, 57. 57. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, Buzz. Yellow.
They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively.
57, Mike, 57. Hey, exit. Out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Here we go.
Throwing is Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
This will be fielded at the 6. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 16-yard line.
Check 55, Mike.
Yeah, let's go second one.
From the 16, Wilson. That is incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On 3rd down, Carson. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Switch!
A 1st down throw for Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. Anthony Harris on the tackle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Two times. Check 26, check 26.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson eluding the pressure right. He'll find Metcalf, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
think you won't get this? Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Check 99. Check 99.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle.
Get ready, get ready,
Vikings take
get
over
ready.
first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Hey, check Mike 57, Mike 57.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Zebra, zebra, zebra. Mike's 57, 57.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
You better be ready.
Go ahead, go ahead.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Heck of a move and then brought down near the 23. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Listen to me. Hey, Zoo.
Cousins. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
That ties the game. Dan Bailey to kick off 4 minutes.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch out. 14, 14, got it. Hey, 0, 0, 0.
Wilson to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got it. Watch the whip. Still got it. 4 down. 6. Mike 55. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. 55's Mike, got 55.
Throwing now is Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Intercepted. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Lady!
54. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still... Y'all playing the wrong football.
Check 24.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Check. No, easy.
54. Let's go, tight end.
Hey, Delta.
Hey, watch this.
Following the interception, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now here's a timeout, as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. And his kick is good. In the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing